This is Dale tonight, and I thought I would do a complete reptile update on my reptiles and my amphibians that I got. We're going to start off this with my newest additions, which are two Tremper Albino leopard geckos. The first one that I got is called him Samwise Gamgee. My wife wanted to name him Sam, and I ended up calling him Samwise because he's my favorite character from the Lord of the Rings films. So that's his name. I call him Sam for short. And quick little story how I got this guy. And there's a pet store I go to that, if you see my latest editorial on pet stores, you'll know that I'm not some pet stores, I shouldn't say most, a lot of pet stores don't always know what they have in their inventory, and this was labeled as just a regular leopard gecko, and obviously it's an albino, and with some research found it's a Tremper Albino. And what's great about that is, you know, you can get these for a really nice price in pet stores when they don't know what they have. And this one actually was one of the sweetest looking ones as far as the coloration goes, how healthy it looked, how active it was. So I kind of gravitated toward this one. When I picked him up, I knew it was the one for me. He was really cool and laid back little gecko. He eats a ton of mealworms. He won't eat anything else. He was fed those from day one. So I'm weaning him off that. He's going to be going on some roaches and crickets soon to change up his diet quite a bit, because right now he is absolutely mealworm crazy. So we're going to have to change up his diet. But other than that, as you can see, the coloration, I love yellows, whites, and pinks on my reptiles. This is about a week later. I changed the enclosure around a little bit, but nothing too much. I'm going to be trading in and out that carpet for a paper towel, depending on when I want to clean and everything. So the second one I got is toothless. I got it a week later after I got Sam, and as you can see, same coloration. I really like these. The line that they get in these in the pet store that I get these leopards from, they have their more common ones, but they get these in, and they think that the coloration on these as babies, they're going to change. Maybe they will. The coloration might look completely different. Who knows? But they really don't know the difference between an albino and a normal color form. They think the albinos are just baby versions of some of the dirtier looking more common leopard geckos. So I got these really, really cheap because for some reason they think it's a deficiency. I'm not joking about this. They give me these things for almost half the price that they're paying for other people are paying for more common ones, because they think that these are defective and people won't buy them. It's incredible. So next up is Pacquiao, the Pac-Man frog. Update on this guy. You're looking at it. That's what he does. That's his update. He's just a big mouth frog. He sits. This is usually what happens when I water him in the morning. He'll jump in the pool and sit in there and go to the bathroom, do what he's got to do, clean up a little bit, and then in the afternoons he comes out and he eats. I usually feed him every 2 days, every 2 or 3 days, depending on how he's eating or what he's eating. He's very, very greedy, obviously, but I've been keeping a lookout on him, and he, monitoring his feeding habits is pretty cool. He doesn't complain too much. Not much to say about him other than he's actually really, really sweet frog. No problems out of him. I can tongue feed him. I can pick him up. I can do all kinds of stuff with him. I try not to touch him too much unless I have to, but he doesn't mind a little contact here and there. He just doesn't like excessive movements around in his cage, and he doesn't like the top to be open for too long, and then he starts freaking out. But other than that, he's fine. He's a great little pet. He's one of my favorites in my collection, and he's got a great personality. And finally, we're going to get to Naga, my snow corn snake. Again, one of the reasons why I love this snake is because when it's an adult, it has the whites, the pinks, and yellows on it. My favorite combination of colors in reptiles. And he or she is actually inside of this Tupperware container full of moss. With I misted it real well. I was having trouble shedding, so I went and put it in here, and just so she can finally get the shedding off. She's not really she doesn't really like to be held for too long, so it's hard to just take her and kind of pull it off. Or I don't like putting her in a bag and putting in a little bit of water and let her wrestle around to get it off. This is a much better method for me. Came close to doing it before, but she always got it off in her enclosure. But this time she was having difficulty with it. It's been really dry because of the winter weather coming in. So she actually enjoyed this. She went around and she got it off in about 30 minutes and went back into the enclosure. And And that was it. So it was actually worked out really well. For those of you who know this method, it actually works pretty well, especially with a corn snake of her size. It works pretty well. It's really efficient. She didn't mind it at all, and actually gave her a bath in the process. So this is her back in her enclosure. I set up the enclosure the exact same way I always do it. She has her hide and her little skull in there and her water dish, and she put some new aspen down and then cleaned it up quite a bit, and she's right back to being my good old Naga, who she just digs tunnels under the bottom, kind of, and just does her thing, basks in the morning under the heat lamp, and in the night she hides down in here next to her cave and does her thing. So there's the update on my reptiles and amphibian. I had some people asking me to update it, so I'll be getting a couple more geckos here in the next week or so. I'm gonna get some tangerines, and I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully, as the collection builds up, I can start giving these guys their own features once I start getting more reptiles. So I appreciate you guys watching. Take care. Have a good one.